Guys, we're going to do a crock of sauerkraut today, but first I want to let you take a peek at the tomato plants and the peppers and the watermelon. So our peppers are doing good. Watermelon has really taken off, and the two that we had to replant did come up and they're doing okay. They're just a little bit behind. There's our green beans. They are needing picked.
Yep, they are.
Boy, this landscape fabric is working out so well. Normally the weeds are ridiculous.
There's that small one and this one. Then we may get enough out of this today anyway.
You can see our cabbage that we're going to harvest today. We had one that died on us early on. That's where that weed is. And then show you our tomato plants. They're really doing well. Just love, love, love the landscape fabric. Can't say enough about it. You can see that we've got quite a few tomatoes on.
Show them this batch over here.
There's some more with tomatoes on. Hopefully we're going to have a good crop this year. Nice. Got some beautiful cabbage this year. We'll take all these leaves and put them in the compost.
Morning, guys. I got 2 large cabbage heads here that we got out of the garden this morning, and we probably got, I'm guessing, 6 or 7 more in boxes out there. I'm not really sure. I didn't take a count. So what we're going to do today is get this cabbage cleaned. We're going to cut it up, and then we're going to add salt to it and put it in our 5-gallon crock and start fermenting it. And won't be too long, we'll have some good old sauerkraut. First thing we do is I'm going to remove some of the outer leaves, some of the bigger outer leaves here. Okay, now Joe's going to come over, clean these up in the sink, and then when I get back to you, we're going to start cutting these up, and I'm going to show you how we do it. Okay, Joe's got it all cleaned up, and I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to cut this. What I do is go right down the middle. These are really large heads too. And this one looks pretty good in the middle. We've had so much water, there may be some that have brown in them, and we have to cut that out. Now the thing you need to do is to slice it down the middle again. Then come right across here and cut the core out. That gets almost all the core out of there. And I'll do this in the same way. Now see this split here? We've had so much water, that's what causes that. And there may be some browning in here, I don't know. Actually, it looks pretty good. If we'd have left it much longer, this would have come up into here and these leaves would have started turning brown on the inside. Now we're going to put all this in a pot, here. And we know how much the pot weighs. So we're going to put all this in here. And then we're going to weigh it. We use, for 5 pounds, I think it's 3 tablespoons of salt we're going to be using. So let's weigh this out, and then I'll get back to slicing her up for you. All right, we got 13.5 pounds of cabbage here. What we're going to do is keep a running total of what we've got at the very end, add it up, and then that'll tell us how much salt we're going to need for the whole batch. So, but here's how I slice it. If you're going to slice it, this is a good way to do it. Just real thin. Now, of course, you can use a mandolin to do it. Matter of fact, we have an old mandolin last year we used, and it worked fine. Now, I like my pieces small. I like small pieces. That way I can eat it with a spoon, or a fork, or whatever. So after I chop it, or after I slice it off, like this, real thin as I can do, I'm just going to chop it up. Now you can use anything that you got that'll chop to make this work, to get it to however you like it. You like long stringy pieces, use your mandolin and have it set thin. Okay, we've got 5 pounds of chopped cabbage in here, and it's about the consistency of coleslaw because that's the way I like it. But you can shred it however you like. And now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of canning salt, pickling salt per 5 pounds, and then I'm going to work it. Then I'm going to add another 5 pounds on top and add salt to it. Same amount, 3 tablespoons per 5 pounds, and then I'm going to keep working this in until we get it all used up. At the very end, I may have to add a little bit of cabbage or take away just a teeny bit. I don't know, until we get to the end. And then we're going to put it all in the crock, and when I get to that point, I'll show you what's going on. You can feel the moisture just coming out of it. The salt will draw that right out. I try to work it as good as I can to get as much moisture out as I can, because I don't like adding water to it, a salt brine, unless I just have to. So I work it pretty good. Okay, we've got our cabbage all chopped up. We worked our salt in, and we ended up with 25 pounds of cabbage. So we're going to let it sit now for 30 minutes, and I'm going to check it to see how the brine is. Because you want to be sure that the brine, there's enough moisture in it that makes enough brine to cover it. So when we get 30 minutes out of the way here, we'll be back. We'll look in here and see what we got and see how much moisture's in here. Then we'll figure out what we want to do then. Okay guys, we didn't have quite enough brine to cover the top. It didn't make quite enough. Now maybe if it would set even longer it might, but we're wanting to get this in and going. So we made 1 quart of water to put in it. Into a brine with 1.5 tablespoons of pickling salt or canning salt. And now I've put that in a I've smashed it down a little bit, got it incorporated, and now I've added some outer leaves of our cabbage here to the top. And I'm going to take and put this weight on top of it now. And I'm going to push it down, make sure it's all underwater. And the leaves will help hold the little tiny pieces down, so it won't be coming up to the top as much. I mean, you may get a few pieces, but the salt will definitely help it, keep it from going bad. But you want to make sure to try to keep it all covered. Now you can always check on it to see that, make sure that you still got enough brine in here. If not, you can always add a little bit more brine to it to make sure it stays covered. And I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to let it work. And in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I might get back in here, check it, see how it's coming along as far as taste. Other than that, I'm just going to let it go until it's ready. I think that's going to do it for today, and we're just going to put it in there and let it start working. And hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you later.